Good morning. Okay, so most of my Christmas stuff is all cleaned up from our Christmas festivities. I hope you all had a great Christmas. We did. But I have some time now to do some crafting. A lot of people they're done with Christmas after, but last year I continued to do Christmas projects for the following year, which this is just a fun one that you can sit down or have your kiddos sit down and do. I wanted to show it to you. I've been wanting to kind of play with this a little bit, but then I'm going to spend until New Year's crafting for craft shows for the following year. It just helps me get ahead of it. So what do we have here? Well, first of all, we have circles. Okay, and I've been wanting to make Christmas bulbs, and I save, like if you go to a restaurant and they have, which Olive Garden is one of my favorites, but they have the little things they put up underneath of your glasses. So take those, they're going to throw them away anyway, and take your friends and take them home, and then you have a circle to start with. These, I think I got a whole bunch of them at a garage sale, so I grabbed those. If you don't have any of those, no worries. I think these were thicker, and they came in a pack. I think I got them at a craft store long time ago. But if you don't have that, you can cut them out yourself. Now I have a die cut, and I used the bigger one and the smaller, the second size in there to cut some circles. And I just grabbed some boxes that I had, and I cut out my circles. Why do I have two of them? I want to make them a little bit thicker, so I'm going to glue these together. So the basic way to get chipboard, or what we would consider chipboard, which would be this, a thicker piece, is to continue to stack and stack and stack and glue your pieces together. Obviously, the more you stack, the thicker it gets. When you put the glue on there and then the paper on there, you get something a little more sturdy. If you do not have those, of course, we always have our old-fashioned way where we can take our cup and draw our circle and then cut our circle out, and then just do a bunch of these. And then I did these out of a box and just cut them out, and they don't have to be perfect because you're going to be layering over them anyway. So I did that with this one, was a cutout. I can still layer it on that one. Then what we have is papers. So I had stopped at Dollar Tree yesterday, and I picked up some cute projects I'm going to be doing. All other Christmas stuff was like 50 cents, so I had to pick up some stuff. But these are something new that Crafter Square is carrying, where you use it in your Cricut, which I have used the white one, and it's not horrible. But they have these glittery ones, and I just happened to see this gold, and I thought, oh, I've got a couple different projects in mind with that. And so for $1.25, there's lots of projects waiting to happen with that one. I have scrapbook paper. This actually came from a scrapbook paper, and I thought it might be fun just to literally lay that on the top. And then I have paper from Romantica Arts, and she does great background papers, not just for Christmas, but for all season. So I thought that might be fun. This I also picked up from Dollar Tree, and it's basically sticky, and it's meant, to line a wall. But if you're a crafter, you know it's meant for so much more than that. So this is going to be great to put on to make an ornament. That's what we're going here, ornaments. If you have okay, Christmas paper, which everybody might have some Christmas paper. I always save some, and some of the pretty ones, and I always buy specifically to use in a craft project. So you can use that. You can use your book pages. You can use your music pages. This one had a little crook in it, so I'll grab that and maybe try to get some of the, I like it when it has the symbol in it. And yeah, and then you're just going to cover your papers, and this is one that I started. A couple other tools that you may need is obviously your pencil if you're going to be tracing your cup. You're going to need scissors, and then you optional may or may not want either a little bit of sandpaper or a nail file will work just fine. And once you lay your paper on there, you'll end up sanding. You can just sand and get any rough edges off. And then I went and inked. Now this actually came from Christmas paper, but when I went to lay it down, I'm like, I kind of liked the lines that tell you where to cut. And I was like, I think I'm going to use that side. Although the other side was nice, I'm going to use that side. So I'm going to do a bunch of these. I'm going to do one on camera right now. And then I'm going to call this part 1 of Christmas ornaments. And then I'm going to come back and show you some things that you can use and how to decorate your ornaments. So let's get started with the first one. And I think my first one, I'm going to use the gold or the silver. And then I'm going to use a thicker one, but normally I would maybe glue both of these together. Also, if I'm using if it's thick and it has an edge, I do not like the raw edges. That's just me. There's a couple of ways that you can fix that. So if you have a big Sharpie, you can just get your edges all colored or covered before you get started. And I have a red one. I keep a black one and a red one that I just keep handy because those seem to be the colors that I use a lot. If you'd rather have a white edge, just get your paint out and dab it with a sponge and then just paint that up. So it's pretty easy, and I'm just going to be using my Scotch Create glue stick. You can use other glue, Elmer's glue, Mod Podge, whatever you would like to use. So I just started by really giving the edges because I really want the edges to stick super good. I want the whole thing to stick, and then this way I could hold the middle, and if I turn it just right, I can see some spots that just need a little more coverage. And then that way I could turn it. And I'm always on the lookout for these. Every time I go to a restaurant, if they give you one, yeah, I grab it. My friends sometimes giggle at me, but I'm like, look, I'm going to make something beautiful out of that. Like, if you're a crafter, you know that it's not junk to us. It's a treasure, and we know that we can make something out of that. So basically, I just really, really got it glued up good. I'm going to put it down on my paper. And I'm going to need a second one of these. I don't know if I have a second one because I know some people would leave that part just the way it is because you're only going to see the front. But I like the whole thing to be finished. I like to do both sides just in case it turns. And for what I'm using them for, which I think I have a couple different ideas that I'll share with you later, but one could be like a banner. You could use it across like a window for a banner. I'm just going to make sure that's on there really good, and then basically you're just going to cut around And there you have it. And then this is where I would take either my sandpaper, or you can take a nail file, and just kind of, you know, smooth it out or rough it up, and depends on what kind of look you're going for. And there you go. And then we're going to decorate these. So I'm going to do a couple more, get them all done, and then we'll do part 2 where I come back and decorate them. But I will try this one on camera too, because I think this one's going to be so fun. Let me get another one of my thick ones, and I've already done the edge of that one. I don't have patience when I get going. I just want to do it, and then sometimes I forget a step. Anybody relate to that? I'm just going to cut off what I know I'm going to need. And then this just has a sticky back. And then I'm just going to take my disc. I'm not sure I made this wide enough. I don't think I did. Let me get a smaller one, because I've got a smaller one here, which I was going to make thick, but we'll just do this for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop that down. Oh, that's going to be pretty. And then, of course, this is going to get sticky because it's got a sticky back. And if your scissors get, so I'm just going to cut it down a little bit right now, because in that way I can kind of get rid of that outside. If your scissors get goopy, I just take mine and get some Goo Gone and then just clean them all up. But you get the idea. And then I'll do the same thing with the back side, and I will cover that. So this is a great project. The kids are home right now and they're probably bored. Like, get out the magazines, get out some of your cardboard and stuff. You know, I've showed you how to do that with your boxes, and cut some circles and have them sit and decorate some bulbs and keep them busy cutting. And okay, so it's not perfect, but I'm going to kind of just use the same technique, and I'm just gonna, and see, it just smooths it right out. So you don't have to get perfect on it, because that probably sounds awful on camera, I'm sure. But yeah, you can just do your edges, and those are going to kind of be covered up, because there's a couple different ideas I have of what I might do around the edges. So yeah, get your paper out, get your circles going, and have some fun. And we'll call this part 1 of Christmas bulb making, and I will be back with part 2.